Hey everybody, welcome back to RBL Weekly. It is 2023. We survived 2022 with some of the greatest roast battles of all time, and they only get better.
Absolutely.
Frank Castillo, my co-host this week, Sarah Keller, is in Indiana or Minnesota or one of those fucking awful places.
Terrible.
Yeah, with family who loves her. Overrated. Awesome. Frank, good to have you filling in today, and I'm excited to start the new year with some great battles. I think that this year, last year was the launch of the Roast Battle League. We're still figuring everything out this year. Bigger, better, more cities, better battles, better production, everything
better
across the board.
Better pizza, Papa John's.
Exactly. You get it. So do you want to jump right into this?
Absolutely.
Let's get right to it, and let's start with the number 5 battle, the first battle of the new year. This comes from our friends in the United Kingdom. Roast Battle London. This is Ken Grinnell, who we've seen a lot on this show. He came over to LA to partake in the first big RBL event in October and won. He's going up against somebody that I haven't seen before, and these battles are new to me. I haven't previewed this week, so I'm excited. Shayaka Karup.
Ooh, that is a mouthful.
Hell of a name. So Ken versus Shayaka, number 5. Let's jump right into it.
This is Ken. He's from Tottenham, obviously. Ken grew up in a household with 19 kids, which is the only successful orgy he's ever been part of. Ken is half Jamaican. He puts the jerk in jerk chicken. He's half Irish. He puts the gay in Gaelic. And he's Catholic. He puts the priest up his arsehole.
Cool, man. It's true, yeah. This is Shayaka. She's from India. I have a big family. Whenever she wants to speak to her friends and family, she rings BT customer support.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ken can afford BT. I don't know. Ken is half Irish, half Jamaican. The only thing more colonized than his family are the children he keeps in his basement. I'm kidding. Ken could never afford a basement.
You look like the children I keep in my basement.
That's why he spent more time wanking to photos of me than writing his roast jokes.
I'm not one of your cousins. So Shayaka is very smart and Indian. She got her master's at University.
Ken got his whatever degree from Middlesbrough, which is the oldest new town in England, which is such a shit description. It's like calling all of Ken's girlfriend the oldest newborns in the nursery.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If it wasn't for paedophiles, you would never have been laid.
That's what Ken said when he put it up me. So.
All right. Cool, man. You know this is a roast battle, yeah? Alright, so Shayaka's doctor said her pussy has no moisture. She lives with a dry vag, but her man lives with an irritating cunt.
Yeah, the only reason I had a dry vag was because I came from Ken's dad's house. So, Ken hates his own people. He hates Malcolm X because he's not got that far in the alphabet. He hates Beyonce because he also wishes that he were a boy. And he hates Martin Luther King Jr. because the only dreams that he's ever had are wet ones.
Yeah, judging from what you're wearing, I think there's only one of us who wishes they were a boy. Shayaka hasn't been honor killed. This is because her family consider cows sacred.
Ken supports Tottenham, which means that the only cup he's ever going to see is the one where 2 girls shit in it. He also supports Tottenham because he identifies with Harry Kane. Just like Harry Kane, he can't score when he wants to.
Cool. It was just the other ones that were the problem. So Shayaka looks 12 but has the vag of a 90-year-old. She's what her uncle calls fool's gold.
I think we're done.
Yay!
Rumor has it, if you close your eyes and listen real hard, you can still hear Shayaka tagging her jokes. On the other side of the country, weeks after the battle ended.
Oh man, boom shakalaka.
There was
you know, university isn't always good for everybody. You know what I mean? Sometimes being from a very highly educated place hurts you. And no, it was good. She had you could tell it felt like a dissertation. You know what I mean? Like it felt very well researched. Like if this was a paper, it would have been a A+. But this is a roast battle.
right.
And yeah, it kind of just showed the difference between you don't have to, if you over tagging, you know what I mean, hitting it once. And his style was he just hit it once, twice,
he's a
easy.
pro, dude.
Just
He
solid
knows.
jokes.
Ken
He gets
knows
it.
exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
We've seen him so much. He's got it down to a science, and he proves just because you're in a city where the style is more long-winded doesn't mean you have to do that.
Yeah, that's where, you know what I mean? Let's give it up for Western colonization. Finally, you know what I mean? No, it definitely feels like the Western style of roasting now making its way, not even Western style, but just the shorter, quicker, jabs, making its way into a long-formed scene, because UK has always been very monologue-y, our round twos when we would have a 3-round battle, right? So it definitely, I think he's gonna, I don't know, it's like watching the first UFC. You know what I mean? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is gonna ruin everybody in this mixed martial arts tournament.
Right. Now, and I don't know how often she's done it. It's my first time seeing Shayaka. If it's her first time battling, I mean, there are obviously kinks to be worked out.
Course.
When I first started, my jokes were so long. I think the one thing that jumped out at me more than anything, because we've seen the length of the jokes, we've talked about it before, but I don't think we've talked about on this show people who feel the need to have an off-the-cuff rebuttal for everything. I mean, she started every joke with the exception of her last one, which hit hard. Her last joke was great, and I noticed it was the only one that she didn't start with an offhand oh yeah, well my pussy's only dry because Ken doesn't know how to fuck me, or
I left his dad's house, and it's well, now you've put yourself in a hole.
Right.
You now have to, the joke's got to be so good, it's got to be better than the riff that you dug yourself into. And you know what I mean? So it's almost better to sometimes just let it lie.
Absolutely, because we've both been in incredible battles where your opponent is killing and you're killing, and one of the things that's great is with every joke, the energy of the crowd is being elevated. So even though you're responding to a great joke, you're almost in it's like in stand-up, right? I don't want to follow somebody who just bombed. I understand the trepidation of following somebody who just crushed, but I'd much rather follow somebody who crushed than somebody who bombed, because the audience is up here already.
Yeah.
You have Ken elevating the battle to a point where all you have to do is hold up your end of the bargain, and you start every turn by bringing the audience down from a 9 to a 4. And I just don't think it worked out.
Yeah, it feels almost like not an insecurity, but it is an insecurity I see a lot of young battlers have, because it's just kind of oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. I got to have, and it's no, just be in the moment, have your jokes. If something happens naturally, it'll happen. You know what I mean? Keith is always that guy. He just always has something off the cuff, because he always just has something off the cuff. Usually just off the top, right? Same thing kind of with Doug. Kelsey Lane, I've seen a little bit of it, and a few others, but other than that, I've seen a lot of people whiff it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, and it's one of those things, if you have one in a battle and it hits, that's a lot better than having 4 that all kind of miss.
Yeah. And also taking the momentum's such a big thing, especially of you start to feel it, and sometimes you'll have a riff that crushes harder than the joke you wrote, and then it's oh, I just got to take this.
Yeah.
I got to step off the gas, because this. I don't want to fuck it up, because this was such a bigger laugh than I anticipated.
Absolutely. And even if you're planning ahead, some people do the thank you so-and-so, right, the thing that you invented. and now has been destroyed. But for a minute, when I did a couple of those, or when I planned a rebuttal, I would even think about, like, well, ideally, I'd like to do it with this joke because this joke is short.
Yes.
I was always thinking ahead of, like, how do I avoid being long-winded? And if you do a rebuttal and then a joke that also has a tag, now it's like, well, I'm throwing a lot of toppings on the fucking pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it didn't seem to be a concern for her. She came out, she had like 5 punchlines in her first joke.
Short and simple. It's just the quickest punch is just the easiest, I think.
Yeah.
Some of them, I mean, we've seen them, those long-winded ones, and then there's a huge ultimate payoff. But even then, it's like this setup of doing small, and then one big, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could pull it off, great. But it's really, really tough. So
tough.
I enjoyed her performance. In spots, I think there's a lot of potential there.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to see
Very
more
funny.
of her. I can't believe that he did not say she looks like the character Sadness from the movie Inside Out.
Oh my God, that's so fucking
Like
funny.
halfway through the battle, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like just a mirror image.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Ken was great as always. Going to be a big year for him. Excited to see what he does as we go forward. All right. For our next battle, we've seen a little bit of London. Let's see a little bit more, but a road game this time. So London, one of their best, Aziz Vora, was in Tokyo. And they lined up a battle against their champion, I believe a non-title match, but this is an exciting international warfare kind of thing. We have Troy Lewis, the Tokyo champ, going up against Aziz Vora from the United Kingdom. Let's check it out.
Awesome. Okay, Aziz. Aziz is like one of those black hats that the Queen's Guard wears. He's too tall. He's too hairy. And whoever he's on top of is left silent and unresponsive.
So Troy has lived in various countries in Asia for about 6 years now, something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. My turn. Lived in Asia for about 6 years now. He told me that he moved here because of the racism he felt as a black man in America. So he moved to China where he can really blend in. Eventually he made it to Japan, but the only reason they let him in is because they thought he was that Japanese comedian in blackface.
Yeah, thank you for that, Curry Cobain. Smells like curry, that's green spirit. Yeah. Aziz's twin sister is like those black hats that the Queen Guards wear. She's ugly and she has a gaping hole in her bottom. Growing up, the other Muslim kids called them the Twin Towers and tried to knock them over at recess. It didn't work, so now every 9/11 they just go down on each other to celebrate.
Man, you wasted a joke on my sister, man. I hate that cunt too. Troy's dad is from Baltimore and has kids with at least 4 other women. But Troy moved to Europe when he was 7, summered in Italy, and went to an Ivy League college. He says he's from Baltimore, but the closest this guy's been to the wire is the coat hanger his dad tried to abort him with.
Yes, that's true. That's that's all true. Yeah. Thank you for bringing up my dad. Thinking about it, I'm kind of like your dad, though, right? Right? We're both immigrants. We both have mixed children. We both can fit 4 fingers inside of your sister's asshole. I tried. Oh, man, okay, yeah, so Aziz, man, he gives up a lot. He gives up more than buttons on JJ's pants. He gave up on stand-up comedy to focus on his career with YouTube. I have a question. What's the difference between a stand-up comedian and a YouTuber? It doesn't matter because Aziz is neither.
Man, if I was roasting me, I'd probably try and roast everyone else other than me as well, man. That's just dad, everything. Troy did pretty well in high school. But he did tell me that he set the record for tardies in his year. Wow, man, did the other tardies get jealous? No, but he did pretty well after that. He went to college on a football scholarship. And he also set the record there as the first quarterback that was tested for brain damage before he picked up a ball. Damn, I need a better joke.
It's okay. I think I got one. Yeah, I'm black. I play football. I'm really good at it. People wanted me to play for them. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm a black American. I guess it's a lot like being a Muslim at an airport. I'd rather be black than sit next to Aziz on an airplane. Yeah, okay. Aziz's favorite show is Lost. He identifies with the character, Dr. Jack Shepard, but whiter. Aziz isn't white. I know why he really likes Lost. It's because Muslims are, they're very hairy, but also they love a good plane crash. And Indians, they have tiny penises, but they love doctors. Of course, his favorite show is Lost. It's how his dick feels every time he goes to take a piss.
I am Muslim. And yet, ironically, you bomb way more than I do. Troy lived in Germany from the age of 7. He was a Nazi before Kanye made it cool. That's the appropriate joke length, by the way, in case you want to do another long one.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Nazis, yeah. I do have the haircut, so it's good, yeah?
It's not a haircut.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Aziz talks a big game. He likes to talk like he comes from like oil money or something. But we all know he comes from kebab oil money. He claims that his dad was a project manager and an accountant. I guess he managed to project the correct place to locate his cart for the week and account for every kebab that he sold.
Yeah. Troy loves kids, man. He's got 2 of his own, another one on the way. He also works with kids. Yeah, give him a round of applause, man. Some good shit. Yeah, he fucked a Japanese girl. Well done. It's easy. Shit, sorry. He also works with kids. He teaches a special needs class at an elementary school. So for Troy, every day is bring your daughter to work day.
Yeah, I am a special needs teacher, and it really warms my heart to see one of my students up here.
Man.
I'm glad you're here because I have a theory as to what happened in this battle.
Too many jokes?
It started off really good. I feel like about 2.5 jokes in, Troy's edible kicked in super hard. And I was like, Frank would know whether or not that's the case.
No, that's 100% what happened. It was also so funny to see him just kind of be like,
Yeah, he was like Beavis and Buttheading his own shit at the end.
It was so funny. And it was also fun to see, like, you know, when, like, like, he's surprised he was so funny. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, oh, this is great. And then he's like, and then he'd, like, go in it. It was so fucking, it was fun to watch. It was ridiculous, though.
Yeah, I mean, it really spiraled kind of, like, out of control.
Yeah.
But those guys are so good that even when it was, like, spiraling, there were still, like, funny moments in it. Like, it still maintained being entertaining. But... my God, I mean, halfway through, I was like, how is this number 4? Like, this has got to be, like, number 1.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, those first 2 jokes at the gate, you're like, this is
with the
this
fucking
is amazing.
the hats on the Queen's Guards.
But by the 4th joke, you're like, I understand.
I get it. I get it now. Yeah, it was the 4th joke. Troy just, like, it just went on for... I feel like that's going to be a theme this episode, by the way.
Long jokes?
Long jokes, and then also Troy was kind of doing the same thing we talked about in the last with Shayaka, where it was just like, you don't need to kind of rebuttal everything. And then with Troy, it was like, I thought it was interesting when he started pulling out the note cards. Like, the quarterback thing made sense because he was like trying to call an audible at the line of scrimmage where it's like, oh, I have a rebuttal if he says I'm black. Oh, I have a rebuttal for this and that. But he didn't quite have them memorized. So he kind of had to go through the Rolodex. And it just, I think he lost a lot of momentum at that point.
And it's also so fun when you can see a person think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, that man's thinking.
Big time. And it wasn't that way. Halfway through the battle, I thought that Troy had it. It's tough to call a winner because, like, I feel like Aziz probably won.
Yeah.
But it was more because Troy sort of fell off, like, at the end there. Like, I almost felt bad for Aziz because if you've ever been in a battle where somebody else draws kind of like all the attention, it almost feels like it doesn't totally matter what you're doing. And like towards the end, I couldn't even tell you what jokes Aziz had. The only thing I remember him saying was after the one, that's the appropriate joke length, which felt like a poignant,
such a good little...
Yeah, knockout punch. But the actual jokes, I don't remember. I remember they were good. I just don't remember what they were because I was so lost in the Troy show.
Yeah, it was just so you're like, what is going on stage? But it was interesting to watch.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Loved the wire joke.
So good.
Really, really good. Loved the callback to the hats.
I mean, we both were like, whoa!
Yeah, because the first hat joke, he kind of stumbled through it.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah,
and then he went right back to the
like,
well.
Oh, okay, I see.
Love it. Love a good callback in a battle. Love what Tokyo is doing.
Tokyo's getting better. They're working at it. They're growing. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I will be on that stage. I don't know why I'm so excited to go.
When are you
just
going?
seems I don't know.
We gotta go.
We're working
you
on
and me,
it.
Yeah, we gotta
We're
go
working
together.
on it. We might be talking behind the scenes. Working on
let's
some
go,
things.
dog. Come on, bro. I'll do round 2, dog.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. We'll go to all the fucking Japanese spots. You know, it'll be fun. We'll go to a soapy. You ever been to a soapy?
What is that? Is that
I'll tell
a
you
rub and
later.
tug?
Yeah. No, it is. What they do is, I mean, I didn't go. They just told me all about it. It was so funny. What they do is apparently it's like they rub themselves in like it's like you take a shower and then they like rub their body on you with soap and stuff.
What?
Yeah, and then sometimes they dress up as characters and stuff. And I think there's a rub and tug afterwards. I'm not sure. They're very vague on that.
Hard pass on whatever that is.
You don't want to get massaged by a chick dressed up as Pikachu?
I'm a married man, and also no. Even if we eliminate, like, let's say I was totally single. If you were like, do you want to get jerked off by some chick dressed like
Pikachu?
Goku? No, that's a hard pass for me. That's not my thing. I'm out.
Hey, all right, no worries.
I'll stick with being the tourist who
You
goes
like
to
sushi?
McDonald's.
No, hilarious.
Yeah, no, I'll eat some sushi. That'll
Oh,
do.
bro. Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, great stuff from Tokyo. First half of the battle, killer. Second half dragged a little bit. Although Troy landing a punch at the end with the after the bell rebuttal, respect that. Was nice and quick. I thought he was going to try to add more after that.
You're like, no.
I'm screaming at him. I'm like, somebody take the fucking mic out of his hand. But good stuff from Tokyo. Excited to see what the year holds from them.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Our next battle, this is a good one. Excited about this. Comes from our friends in New York. Features a battler we've seen a lot of, including at the first big RBL event in October. Dan Wicks, one of the best from New York, going against a guy that I, frankly, am not familiar with, named Wolfgang Hunter.
Whoa.
Fantastic name. And we love what they've been doing recently, so I'm excited to see this next battle. Dan versus Wolfgang. Let's check it out.
Yeah, I will go first. Wait, by the way, I love your beanie, dude. You look like you tried to spray paint the school you shot up.
Dude, you look like you wrote that joke writing it in a mirror.
You look like you need to buy a mirror.
Wait, that was still one, right?
Yeah. All right, I'll finish my number one. Wolfgang, it's crazy your name is Wolfgang when the news calls you Lone Wolf who massacres sororities.
Yeah, guys, we gotta wrap this up quick so Dan can get back to the clock tower he lives in. Yeah, give it up for quasi-homo, everybody.
I will kiss you on the mouth. Despite being Indian, Wolfgang does not work for Uber or 7-Eleven. Yeah, but like an Uber driver, he does pick up dangerously intoxicated women. And like a 7-Eleven guy, he feeds them a gross, blistery wiener.
It's just Projection City with you today. Guys, it's a little wet outside, something Dan has never made a woman. I'm sure all these ladies' wet feet is making Dan uncomfortable right now.
Wolfgang, there's no way you wait for them to get wet to enter. Thank you, Tiki Torch Masala. Unlike many young Indian men, Wolfgang does not wish he was black. When he says the N-word, it's because he wishes he was white.
Yeah, Dan's ex is also a comic that left him after finding fame on MTV's Wild and Out. That's not what Dan meant when he said, I want to see you surrounded by a bunch of black guys. Dan is a cup.
Last jokes!
That was the last joke.
I want to see one more jokey.
We got 2 more rounds.
Dan's gay and his dick is small. Dan being born is actually a miracle of science. It proves that women can get pregnant from pre-cum.
This one is in a row.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know, I was being drunk the whole time. Dan is autistic, but surprisingly doesn't like trains, unless it's the cast of Wild and Out run one on his girlfriend. Yeah, Dan is a feminist, and he fights the gender wage gap by dating female comics that make way more than him at doing comedy.
That's not the point of it.
All right, yes, I did used to date a comic, yes. Wolfgang is jealous because he'll never do anything funny. Wolfgang hates illegal immigrants. Yeah, he feels like they're taking his job of looking like he's Mexican.
Last one.
So Wolfgang looks like the Boston Bomber.
Oh.
Yeah. But the only race he wants to finish is black people. All right, come on, Dan, don't fuck this up. I can't really get full autistic by a guy with no social skills. Like, Wolfgang's also autistic, but he's bad with computers because he prefers to make women uncomfortable in person.
Dude, you're literally shaking, making every woman here uncomfortable. Every time Dan shakes, a girl turns 18.
Yeah. I don't even know Wolfgang is such a depressing creep that whenever a woman says, "My eyes are up here," he's looking at the ground.
Dan is anti-Israel, which is weird because he has the nose and hair of a Hasidic woman.
Half of Wolfgang's name comes from the animal wolf, and the other half... and the other half comes from the way they raped his mom.
Dan is a huge supporter of Black Lives Matter, except for the Black Lives that fucked his ex and gave her a career. I don't care that we'll crush him on the train ride home. I get to get pussy after
Yo, I loved every single minute of that. Was the guy Dan? Is that the guy?
Dan, yeah.
Dude, he's been my favorite since I've seen him battle when he came up here. He's just his whole delivery, his like weirdness is so fucking funny to me. I really dig it. Also, props to him for having to battle Lord Farquaad halfway through the battle. I was like, what happened? You put
when that beanie came off,
I was like, whoa.
Wild. Yeah.
What the fuck? He's battling Pantene Pro V? This is wild.
I didn't think the guy looked Indian or Mexican. I just thought he was a white dude.
Yeah, it was like smaller Crystalia.
Yeah. let's not go there. Yeah, I mean, battle was good. I love the ending. Maybe it's because we haven't been doing 3-rounders out here for a while, but they feel
so long.
So long. Yeah, and the one thought I kept having was, man, if you just took the 5 jokes from 5 best jokes from each of them, that's a fucking amazing battle. Doesn't have to be 3 rounds, and it pains me to say that because we came up in the 3-round era.
Oh, we really did.
I loved that shit.
Bro, 3-round era, man. Yeah. It was, but I also think that's what made us the powerhouses we are today. No, but it's so funny is when you come up in that era of 3 rounds and having to memorize and write all those jokes, it really does pay off in the end. Because I remember when we were doing roast battle and we were taping, I remember some of the other comics who hadn't done it as much as I had were like, we have to memorize 16 jokes, and then you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That is a tough thing for certain people.
Yeah, sure.
And so you forget that it's like, oh yeah, coming from that 3-round scene is different.
Right.
Yeah.
And to that point, I mean, we've talked about it on the show a lot. I'm not going to belabor the point, but like it really is stark when you see people reading every joke off of a phone.
Yes.
You know, and that's accepted over there, so I'm not here to like dunk on anybody or be like you shouldn't do that, but it
Memorizing
really
has an extra little just that you have
it takes you to the next level.
Yeah,
I
really
completely
does.
agree. I love the ending from both of them. I mean, Dan landed the knockout punch at the end, and I think that's where the phone became even more stark to me because while Wolfgang was waiting to go, you just saw him staring at his phone for what felt like an hour, just like, and you could see the look on his face, like this is not going to be enough to get it done. this joke. But his little tag about, like, I don't care, that one's going to crush him on the train ride home, that was too real.
That was so funny.
I loved it. So for the first time seeing Wolfgang, really impressed.
bad,
Got a cool, like, laid-back style.
Nice hair.
Great hair. Jokes were good. I thought he really, kind of hung with Dan for the majority of that battle. It was pretty close to the point where, like, at the end, I was like, I don't know who I have. And then, Dan landed the KO.
Up, dog.
Yeah.
Bro, that Wolfgang, and so fucking funny.
Beautifully done.
So funny.
Beautifully done.
I like the weirdness of it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of, like, anything that is new and we haven't seen before, because we've seen so many battles and kind of like
yes. He's a pedophile.
Start piecing them together, and even when he was like autistic and trains, I see all the pieces connecting. I'm like, running a train on a person and autism and choo-choo trains. And
out.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
But I'm just such a dickhead with this shit. I'm like, we get it. We know what the punchline is. But
we've been around here for a while. Isn't it weird to feel like we're old in this now?
Yeah, dude. It's weird that we've been doing this for 10 years.
It's crazy to think
10 years is a long time to hear every roast joke under the sun.
25 when Oh, yeah. It's so wild.
I was a baby when I started.
Yeah, I know,
I
man.
was a young man. But it's an old man's game, and that's why we're still here. But yeah, good stuff. New York, I really like what they're doing. But it's becoming more and more stark. I think I prefer the shit they're doing at the Grove with the 1-round battles versus the 3-rounders at the New York Comedy Club. Just one man's opinion.
Yeah.
But
one commissioner's opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this number 1 or number 2?
We have 2 battles left.
Perfect.
So the next battle, we're going to go to the city that unofficially the MVP city of 2022. We didn't actually crown anybody, but if we had, commissioner's ruling, Chicago, congratulations. You guys won the year. Will they be able to do it again this year? Don't know, but they're off to a pretty good start with this battle. This is, again, a battle, a theme tonight. One person I've seen before and one person I haven't. We've seen Brandon Kiefer on the show before. He's going up against a guy brand new to me, brand new to our audience perhaps, named Adam Burke. Let's check it out.
All right, cool. I guess my guy didn't show up. I guess I'm getting roasted by a substitute comedian tonight. I guess it doesn't matter how I do. I guess, whatever. This isn't going to count towards the final anyway.
That's funny. Brandon, you're rocking a look I like to call going out of business casual. You look like you showed up to storm the Capitol on January 7th.
What a voice. I feel like you're just a deaf guy still trying to talk. I gotta be honest, I have an easier time understanding what my dog is trying to say.
Oh, Brandon, are we making fun of the way people talk?
Yeah.
I mean, some people find accents sexy. The only time you've made a woman's body part wet is when you fucking spat on her face.
I feel like I'm getting roasted by a shot of Malort right now.
Yeah, and the call is coming from the inside. No, seriously, Brandon.
I literally am like, is he Irish? Is he English? Is he retarded? What are we talking about? I don't know where we're at. He's ambiguous.
Brad, I wasn't going to bring up your speech impediment, because you've got one of those unfortunate speech impediments where sometimes we can actually understand what you're saying.
How dare you?
Like most people, I was just going to come here and just say you look like a racist the whole time, but I don't like calling you a name that you can't pronounce.
I'm a racist. You're a guy who probably doesn't have a single black friend.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys know Adam from NPR's Wait, Don't Tell Me, but I doubt you do. I think more people know you, Adam, from right now. Wait, Don't Tell Me is what people say when you ask if you know who Adam Burke is.
Brandon, it looks like the only radio you listen to is those weird AM stations you can only get in Gary, Indiana.
Are you in the IRA? Because that was kind of a bomb, dude.
I'm not saying that Brandon is racist and homophobic, but the only Stonewall he supports is Jackson. Brandon nicknamed his penis the South because he hopes that too will one day rise again.
I like that. That was pretty good.
By the way, real quick, speaking of Brandon's penis,
speaking of somebody who studied my penis, apparently.
Yeah. Brandon looks like he smokes 5 packs a day. I bet his penis looks like it smokes 6 packs a day. I bet your dick looks like it has a bad back.
He's supposed to be a celebrity. You don't have a voice for radio despite being on it. You don't have a voice for fucking TV. At least you have a mouth for a gun, dude.
That took me a while.
Was that a little dark? I apologize. I debated that one.
Yeah. Brandon's actually married to a beautiful woman from Germany.
You watch your goddamn mouth right now.
He actually convinced her to marry him, which is the worst decision a German person has ever made. Brandon's a white guy from Georgia. She's a white lady from Germany. Turns out 2 wrongs make a right.
Hey, at least my family didn't die because we didn't have enough potatoes, all right? Jesus fucking Christ. Hey,
you've had too many potatoes.
I looked up Adam's name. I looked up the Gaelic meaning of Adam Burke. Adam means first man, and Burke means to blow a guy.
That was, you know what? This LA battle better be fucking great because that one was really, really good. I loved, that felt very like hectic, chaotic, old school, but that felt very like, that felt more Boston than anything, dog. Like just drunk on stage talking shit. That was so good.
Perfect.
It felt like what you think Chicago would be.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian Moses dropping in on the show.
Yeah, it felt like a couple guys at a bar like, oh, Ditka.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that was great. That was like my team won on fucking baseball and your team fucking lost. I'm gonna talk shit to you next to you because we're sitting next to the bar.
Every bit of it was the energy was perfect. The pacing was perfect, especially contrasted to the battles we've been watching today. Were a little longer and drawn out. You really see how like
that's fucking that's all personality. That's fucking getting at your neck in a parking lot. You know what I mean? Like they do that shit off stage.
And they seem so much more comfortable with those off-the-cuff rebuttals that seemed like a little bit forced earlier. Like, that's what these guys did. It's just ball busting, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess that really what is at the core is, like, there's certain people that are just good at busting balls.
Yes.
And there's people who are just better at writing and performing in that moment. But, man, those people that just bust balls, they've been doing it their whole lives. So they're ready to go.
For sure, and they were comfortable having their balls busted. You could see the chemistry. Like this was the first battle we've seen this week where they were actively laughing at each other's shit, and they were in the moment, and they were enjoying it. They weren't, I feel like some of the other ones we saw today, they were so, like, waiting for, your opponent tells a joke, and you're not even processing that it's funny because you're like, what am I going to say in response? Yeah. And these guys were just, like, in the moment. They're living it. And honestly, like, Brandon did something that Sarah and I have talked a lot about on this, which is when you have a joke about your opponent's voice, do it immediately, and then everybody thinks about it for the rest of the battle. Yeah. And, like, Brandon just, like, expertly did that. His rebuttal about the IRA and the bombing, like,
so good.
He established that he was Irish on joke 2, so he could do the rebuttal on joke 4. Just every
perfect,
bit of it.
Just good, full-on, like, you know, a quarterback who's reading the fucking field and knows exactly what he's got to do.
2 steps ahead at all times. And Adam, first time seeing Adam, I fucking love that guy.
So great.
Really funny, great personality. Just awesome up there. And if that was truly a last-second battle, because Brandon referenced it at the beginning, like, I wasn't supposed to battle him tonight. He's a substitute. If that was, like, on short notice, I mean, my God, even
great jobs.
Whole
Both
other
teams.
level.
So great.
Yeah, everything coming out of Chicago, man. Those guys. They
Good
are on
tamales.
point. Strong start to 2023. Really, really enjoyed that battle. Want to see more of both of those guys, definitely. And you said LA had better be a really good one. This was a really good battle. I was there. I believe. Did you judge this one as well?
Which one was it?
We're talking about Digits and Julian Fernandez.
I actually was not here for this one.
This is perfect. This is perfect because
there was a lot of contention.
There's a lot of controversy surrounding this battle.
Yeah.
And some of it involves me as a judge.
Some of them
you
involves
were
a
not
really
there.
hot girl.
I don't get involved in any of that. But I want to get your opinion
Of course.
on a couple things. And impartial. If you think I was wrong, I would love to hear it. This is the semifinals of the tournament that we have been running through the end of 2022. Digits and Julian Fernandez, both really strong performances in the first round. It was going to be a great battle. It delivered as a battle, and I want to talk about it as, in its entirety, but I also want to talk about the decision because it caused a lot of controversy. Number one battle this week, Digits versus Julian Fernandez from LA. Let's check it out.
Julian looks like Quasimodo. If only he rung doorbells instead of tower bells to warn people that he was a sex offender.
I'll make this quick. The longer Digits is up here, the more dishes he has to wash later. Digits is the only cholo whose lowrider's a short bus.
Hey, that shit can hop though, fool. The helmets help. Yo, I don't want to address the elephant in the room or misgender it.
Guy, let's
wait, but that wasn't my joke, fool. Chill. But Julian only looks like he identifies as a they or them, so he can get a family meal.
That was really good. Guys, keep it going for the little homies in the cupboard over here.
Give it up for the big homie in the cupboard. In the closet.
That closet door's been off its hinges for years, let's be honest. Digits has been searching for his dream girl because he can't remember where he buried her.
32 latitude, 42 longitude. Yo, everybody give it up for Horchata the Hut. Yo, Julian is a big-ass Mexican. Every time he crosses the border, it's considered human trafficking.
You know, Digits is a lot like a shark. They're both in constant motion and are classified as predators.
And I'm once a month, dog. On Shark Week. Yo. Julian looks like he's been put in cages before. But not by immigration, by his parents. Before his relatives come over, dog. Hide him in the basement, baby.
Digits likes his women like he likes his mustache, to stop growing after middle school.
I didn't even go to school, though. He's lying. Yo, Julian doesn't identify with any sex. Oral sex, butt sex, regular sex. I guess it's easy to be non-binary when nobody wants to fuck you.
He's right. Listen, if there's one person that knows about fucking, it's Digits. If you don't know, Digits is prison gay. So his asshole has been stretched so much when he farts, all you hear is,
That's a lie. It's not gay if you're in prison, dog.
Pause it there. Okay, so we
Fernandez
paused
won.
at this point.
Julian won. Julian won. I'll tell you exactly why.
Okay, because there's more coming.
Oh, there's more coming? All right, so I'll tell you why I think he won so far. There was a part where Digits did his joke and it didn't do well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fernandez hit him back with another joke. It didn't also do well, so it's 0-0 for me, right? Digits then did, like what we talked about, the rebuttal thing, which kind of is his style. He does. And he did it in response to Fernandez, and it didn't do well. And then Fernandez came over the top with a better joke that kind of set the momentum again over the three things that he did. So Fernandez fumbled once, Digits fumbled twice. One from the joke that he tried to do, and then from the rebuttal. Going into that, near the end of that, he does have the pops he got were funny things, but they were funny things that weren't roasting him. It was like almost disarming his joke, which is good, but I don't think it counts towards the full points.
I'm really glad that you brought that up, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. For now, I'm going to leave my thoughts out and just say I was the sixth judge. There were 6 judges. By the time it got to me, a couple people had said one more joke. I was kind of on the fence. I will say Digits' energy plays stronger in the room than it does on tape. Mm-hmm. So you gotta keep that in mind. For me, it was pretty neck and neck at this point. Halfway through the battle, I had Digits edging it.
Yeah.
And then Julian came out really strong with his last couple. It was very, very close. I could have made a decision if I had to, but a few people had said one more joke. The crowd was into one more joke. I said, let's do one more joke.
So one joke, yeah.
So we're gonna go to overtime. Let's watch that.
Digits got his name in prison. It was either that or the guy we stick our fingers in.
That's not true, though. That was a homie bowling ball. Hey, yo, Julian looks like he got his pronouns from Spirit Airlines after they mistook him for 2 people. Bring them this way.
Okay, let's pause it again. Go ahead.
That wasn't strong enough. If we're just comparing joke to joke, that wasn't strong enough for Julian's joke. You put it on paper, it just isn't strong enough.
So you have Julian at the end of regulation.
I have the Julian at the end of regulation. I have Julian at the end of overtime.
Okay.
Digits did his job as a performer in the room making people laugh. He did. But in this instance, we're talking roast jokes. You got to beat Julian.
So now we are headed to double overtime.
I wouldn't have gone double overtime.
Okay. Let's watch double overtime, and then this is it, and then we'll discuss.
All right, motherfuckers. You guys ready for a disappointment? Hey, yo, Julian is a whitewashed Mexican. But he did get his parents out of the hood by calling immigration on them. That's the last time you're going to take my Xbox, bitch.
Digits looks like E.T. if he just phoned homies.
I text him, dog.
Okay. So also essentially what Digits is doing is he's tagging up the other person's joke.
Yep.
And that's not what's going to get you the win. The win is the roast joke that you do against Fernandez. The joke that Digits did, essentially it was like his parents aren't around because he called immigration on them, which is okay, but this is overtime. You got to the biggest thing that I've always said, that I've always thought about Digits, and I love him. He's a homie. He's also a fellow Mexican. His performance is outstanding. He's great in the room. He fucking knows how to liven up the crowd. He knows to surf on that energy. His writing has always been his weakest point. He's always had jokes that are either really, really good or they're like kind of just not there yet. And That's just him just growing as a comic and as a roast battler. So there's nothing wrong with what's going on right now with him. He's just got to write and get better, just like all of us.
We've seen a lot of that growth. His last 2 battles against Zach Stein and this one against Julian Fernandez, 2 of his better ones in terms of writing. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not taking anything away from this battle. This was, as I said, as a judge, this was, I thought, an outstanding battle, and even better in the room than it plays back on tape.
Of course.
There's something about that energy that brings it to a whole other level that doesn't necessarily translate to what we're doing here. Even here, it's a good battle, but in the room, it was an outstanding battle. And I made sure to tell both of them. I was the deciding vote in this thing. By the time it got to me, it was 3-2 Julian. I voted for Julian. And that set off kind of a chain reaction. Digits is very passionate about this shit, loves this shit. You know, he was very upset.
Of course.
And
he cares about it. Listen, if you're upset about roast battle, and Moses can attest, he's known me for 10 years. You've seen me, how much I used to get upset at roast battle.
Same.
It's because they care. It's because you fucking care about this, you love this shit, and that's fine, but it's also like, yeah, man, it's okay to not win one.
Exactly. And listen, it comes from a good place, and I like the passion. There's certain places that it can't lead, though. You know what I mean? When you're publicly freaking out and talking about you were robbed and everything like that, and I came in here ready to watch this with a fresh set of eyes and potentially admit, hey, maybe I fucked up, and maybe I did rob him. I didn't feel like I did in the time. Watching it back, he was not robbed.
He wasn't robbed. I don't think he was robbed. I think that was
it was a very good battle.
It was a clean beat by Fernandez.
Yep.
And Digits did a good job. He just didn't beat Julian.
Yeah, I agree watching it back, and I'm glad you brought up the thing because it took me a couple days to get there because one of the other judges was Doug Fager, who voted for Digits at the end of every round.
Yeah.
And we talked a couple days later on the phone, and I was like, man, at the end of regulation, it was really close, but I had Julian at the end of OT and double OT. And he was like, really? I had Digits. And he started quoting his favorite Digits jokes from the battle, and every one of them was one of those off-the-cuff rebuttals that was more self-deprecating than, cutting on his opponent. And Digits, I think he would respect this analysis because he comes from the battle rap world, which is very much about, disrespect and all this shit, right? He did not do a good enough job, in my mind. He didn't do as good of a job of insulting Julian as Julian did of insulting Digits.
Of course.
Digits might have had more laughs in the room during regulation, but and this is where Doug and I landed, I said I can't give the same amount of points to those off-the-cuff rebuttals that don't even mention Julian or have anything to do with Julian.
Taking the dagger, it's not a roast of yourself.
Yes.
It's a roast of the person across from
and I agree with you. Now, Doug saw it a completely different way. He said, no, making people laugh is making people laugh. And that's why this is ultimately subjective. And that's why this ultimately will always be open to controversy when people feel like I got more laughs, I won the battle. To me,
it's a joke writer's
you
showcase.
have to insult your opponent, and Digits did a good job at that, but Julian was a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
because the thing is about this, if this was a regular battle, maybe we'd be having a different conversation, right? But this is a battle in a tournament for, we are in a tournament for jokes. So you got to come correct with the jokes. And I know how tough it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't skate on personality. I mean, you look at the two people, it's going to be Omid and Kelsey. I've seen Kelsey make leaps and bounds from when I first started watching her. I mean, dude, we've done this 10 years. These are all people we see grow for years at a time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I remember the first time I talked to Kelsey, and then now looking at her, and I'm just like, you've leaps and bounds.
Yes.
So it's just like everyone grows, everyone fumbles, everyone has to get better, and everyone has to take this kind of growing pain.
Yeah, I agree, and it's kind of it's all in how you handle it, and I understand getting upset and everything like that, but some of the reactions little bit over the top. I like where the heart's at, but sometimes you need to chill and just be. And I understand it's a tournament, so it's a whole other. Yeah. You add that to it too, and frankly, if it wasn't a tournament, this might have been a draw. I don't know, but you got to pick a winner. We picked the winner. Watching it back, I don't feel like the wrong decision was made. No. And I think we should go out of our way to give credit to Julian Fernandez, because one of the things that got lost in this is in the aftermath, it became so much about Digits, and was Digits fucked over, and is Digits going to retire? Are we never going to see Digits again? It was Digits, Digits. And
no one's retiring and no one's gonna pretend like they're not gonna fucking show up. It is most of y'all's only chance to perform at the Comedy Store, so fucking save it, okay?
Wow. All right. Well, he never filed his official retirement papers with the league office, so we'll have to see what happens. Until that happens, I don't know. Yeah. But I think it's important that we acknowledge Julian Fernandez, the work he did in the tournament. Next week, we're going to take a look at the finals against Kelsey Lane.
Julian also leaps and bounds. I've seen grow and get better, and I love it.
Absolutely. They did an incredible job. And in this battle in particular, I felt bad for them afterwards because it was like nobody even noticed I was there kind of in the aftermath. And, we noticed. Julian, you did a hell of a job. Congratulations on the win. And to Digits, congratulations on another great performance. And please don't stab me. I had to vote for somebody, and I fucking made my choice. And upon further review, I don't think I think we got it right.
Yeah. Although I can't wait for the whitewashed Mexican comments.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The white people got Frank. They've always had me. No, I'm just kidding.
His opponent was Mexican too. Okay, you're off the hook on this one.
Oh, sweet. Yay.
I just really don't want to have to leave my wife as a widow for the dumbest reason possible. If I'm gonna die in my 30s, I want it to be something, badass.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be he got shanked in the parking lot for voting on a fucking roast. The Pink Dot parking lot.
Nah, Digits is good. I understand why he was upset, and I get it. It's just all passion, dog, and I love it. I like to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hate the voicemails, love to see it. All right, I think
the
that's
voicemail. That's where we got to end it. Great way to start the new year.
Thank you so much.
RBL 2023, back, bigger, better than ever.
January 19th, Pat.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. So January 19th, we have a new venue. In addition to the Comedy Store, where we're still at every Tuesday, once a month, we will be running a Jam in the Van down in Culver City. You and I were both there for the first show.
Loved it.
Incredible venue with, frankly, higher production quality than we're able to get at the Comedy Store.
So nice.
Crystal clear video. Follow us on Instagram. We just posted our first clip from there at Roast Battle. Follow them at Jam in the Van. And January 19th, we're still putting the card together, but we have 4 of the best from Austin coming out to face 4 of the best from LA. So we gotta get that all figured out. But it's going to be an amazing show. You can, if you're in the LA area, feel free, come through, get some tickets. Jaminthevan.com. But I believe, Moses, we will also be live streaming.
Live stream, baby.
Oh shit!
And where can they see the live stream?
Huh?
Where can they see the live stream?
It's gonna be on Jam in the Van's YouTube, but we'll live stream link coming soon.
Love it. Live stream link coming soon, baby.
Jam
in the Van.
Taking this thing to the next level with the help of our friends at Jam in the Van. January 19th. Make sure you check that out. Until next time, I'm Pat Barker.
I'm Frank Castillo. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Bye, everybody.